Everyone talks about conventional loans like they're the gold standard. But here's the truth most people won't tell you. In a lot of real world situations, FHA is actually the better move. Today I'm going to break down FHA versus conventional side by side and show you exactly when FHA wins and when it doesn't. Let's start with the first thing. Everyone cares about down payment. With FHA, the minimum down payment is 3.5%, and that applies not just to single family homes, but 1 to 4 family properties. Now let's compare that to conventional loans. Yes, conventional can offer 3% down on single family homes, but that program comes with a lot of restrictions. Income limits, stricter credit requirements, and limited flexibility. For 2 to 4 family properties, conventional technically allows 5% down, but realistically, approvals are tough. You'll need very high credit scores, typically 6 months of reserves, a low debt to income ratio. So while conventional might look good on paper, FHA is often the more achievable option in real life, especially for multifamily buyers. Mortgage insurance. This is where FHA shines. Now let's talk about mortgage insurance, because this is one of the biggest differences. If you're buying a 2-family property and your credit score is 720 or below, FHA usually wins. Buying a single family home with a 700 score or less, again, FHA often comes out ahead, especially when you're putting 10% or less down. Why? Because FHA mortgage insurance is not risk-based the way conventional PMI is. Conventional PMI gets more expensive as your credit score drops. FHA stays more consistent. Rates, credit flexibility, and debt to income ratios. In many cases, FHA also offers better interest rates, more flexible credit history guidelines, higher allowable debt to income ratios. Here's a big one most people don't understand. Conventional loans typically cap out at 45% debt to income ratio, sometimes 50%, but only with strong compensating factors, like high reserves, excellent credit, and stable income. FHA, on the other hand, can go up to 56.99% debt to income in many scenarios, and it's far more forgiving when it comes to compensating factors. That flexibility alone is the difference between approval and denial for a lot of buyers. Seller's credits. FHA is more generous. Here's a huge advantage that doesn't get talked about enough: seller's concessions. With FHA, the seller can cover up to 6% of the purchase price toward closing costs, regardless of your down payment. Now compare that to conventional loans. 10% down or less, seller concessions are capped at 3%. More than 10% down, up to 6%. 25% or more down on a primary residence, up to 9%. So for buyers putting less money down, FHA clearly gives you more leverage. And yes, with FHA, 100% of the down payment and closing costs can be gifted. With most conventional loans under 20% down, lenders usually require at least 5% of your own funds to be your own money. That's another reason FHA works so well for first-time buyers, buyers using family assistance, buyers trying to preserve cash. FHA is one of the best comeback loans. This is where FHA really separates itself. If you've had credit issues in the past, FHA is often the fastest path back to home ownership. Here's the comparison. Bankruptcy. Conventional loans requires 4 years from the discharge date compared to FHA's 2 years. Foreclosure. Conventional requires 7 years and FHA is only 3 years. On a short sale, conventional loans require 4 years compared to FHA's 3 years. If you've rebuilt your credit and your income is solid, FHA gives you a second chance much sooner. Now, nothing's perfect, so let's talk about downsides. FHA loan requires monthly mortgage insurance, plus an upfront mortgage insurance premium, which can be rolled into the loan. And unless you put 10% down or more, that monthly mortgage insurance stays for the life of the loan. That's the trade-off for the flexibility FHA gives you. Bottom line, so here's the takeaway. FHA isn't a bad loan. It's not only for first-time buyers. It's a strategy, and in the right situation, it can save you real money, get you approved when conventional won't, and help you buy sooner instead of waiting years. If If you want to know which loan makes sense for your situation, send me a message or drop a comment below. I'll break it down for you personally.